Once again, y'all, I had a really stupid idea. So as y'all heard me say, we are going to be building a roller coaster in this 20 by 20 plot in Theme Park Tycoon 2. So let's begin. Okay, so I think we're going to be building a beach style coaster. So I think we should build a launch coaster. So let's just do that. So I think we should use the extreme launch coaster so we can fit this in like a tight space. Yeah, it's gonna be very compact, but we'll see what we can do. So I think we might have like an ocean out here and then like have some buildings out here, so let's try to do this. So here we go. And then let's go to the boosters. So let's say about 3, and then let's go into some kind of top hat. I hope we can do some kind of top hat in this area because it's going to take up a lot of space, but I think we can do something. See, something like this might work. Let's see, if we can get the shaping right, this might end up really well. That's tight, but it might work. Something like this might work. So let's go down now. This might have to go underground a little bit because of the space, but we might be able to make it work. So I think like this, we can make a tight turn down here. Obviously underground. We don't want our citizens dying on this. That is very tight, but we'll make it work. Okay, so now from here, let's go into some kind of inversion. Say some kind of Vekoma, like new generation Vekoma element might be cool. Something like this is cool. And then out of that roll. This might not be the smoothest, but it is pretty cool of an inversion. Let's have maybe an element where it goes by the water, since I want there to be a beach right here. So out of this, let's go probably into some airtime hills. Something like this might work. Oh yeah, that would give good ejector. Okay, from this we need to go back into another tight turn. And we might need to wrap up the coaster soon because we do not have much space and I want to be able to have some buildings and stuff, so. Oh, this is so tight. Oh, I might have to remove this. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. We'll make it work, we'll make it work. Just, you might die. Let's do some kind of wave turn right here. So that could be cool. And then let's just do one more little turn and then we can go into the brakes. So I think there's going to be a change in plan. I do not think that we're going to add buildings that people can walk around because this would just be unsafe. I mean, just a whole coaster wrapping around the area. So I think we'll still theme it, but it's not going to be like, you know, crazy detailed. So we're going to have to make a really tight turn here, but to minimalize the G-forces, let's probably bring it upwards, because that might help. This might not make it, but we'll try. Oh, this is going to be tight. And then I think from here into the brakes. This is terrible. I guess that, guys, I don't have space at all, so I'm just glad I fit this entire thing in this spot, so. Okay, so let's start by removing some of this. Because here I want to have some water, because you know it is a beach theme. So I do think that this might be going under a little, but that's fine. We can just do it like that. And then we can fix the terrain by smoothing it out and making some sand. I also think a lighthouse in this area would be so cool. Something like this, and then we can have sand. So let's make that. It's gonna look rough at first, guys, but trust me, it will be way better when it's done. And guys, just imagine all this sand just being all over this beach. So let's just cut towards that. So I've made some progress on the whole beach area. But I think it's now that I want to start working on something else. So, with the whole beach theme, I decided that a lighthouse would look so cool right here. Like, just imagine the coaster just blasting through a whole lighthouse into the top hat. That'd be so cool. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a little base for the whole lighthouse. So this is just a base, and we can go ahead and put sand under this, so let's do that. Okay, so I think this is a good size for like the lighthouse like base. So let's start actually making the lighthouse. So what I did in my old lighthouse design is I made a bunch of panels and I would slightly tilt it and then it would go up to the center. So let's do that for this. And trust me guys, it's not going to be a perfect design, but it'll work. So even if there's just those little cracks, it's fine. But we can just rotate it like this. But for here, we will need to fill this one because, you know, it's going to go right through it. Okay, then let's continue this all around. Then let's do it for this other side. And there's the whole base of the lighthouse. And I think it will be around the same height as this. It's going to be a short lighthouse, but still, they can be cool, so let's go ahead and color some of this. And I think a wooden plank design would be really cool. Okay, not wooden planks. Maybe metal, and we can just add texture and stuff if we need to. Yeah, this might look cool. Okay, then let's start building this up. But I think here, this might be indented a bit more because, you know, it might not make it to the top very well. And I know, guys, it's not perfect with this, but to be honest, I don't really care. So let's just keep doing what we're doing. So we can just keep making this go up a bit more, and then we can start making the whole lighthouse part. Okay, so let's make it about this height, and then we can start working on the whole little lighthouse part. Okay, guys, I might fix this because this looks ugly. So I think I might just use what I've been doing for this layer because I think this one just got too thick. See, that looks way better. Okay, I do think it's a bit thick still, but it's better than what we had. And now we can start building the layers of the whole lighthouse part. What am I even saying at this point? Okay, so now we can just make some very simple layers. This is not going to be perfect, guys. Trust me. But let's go ahead and make this part so we can have the whole lighthouse thing. But first, let's color this first. Okay, so this is going to be like some metal support. So let's add some bolts so it doesn't look weird. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now let's make this wooden because it's kind of an old-timey lighthouse. See, that's nice. Okay, so now let's make a railing design. And boom, just like that, the fence is done. Okay, and I think I am going to change this texture because lighthouses weren't really metal. And I think limestone is actually a great texture for this. See, that looks way better now. Okay, so now let's start working on the whole lighthouse center thing, blah blah blah. You know, the light. Now what color should we do this? Let's probably do a darker metal for the actual light thing, so yeah. And what we can do now is we can just, so that's how tall the whole light thing will be. So let's get some light orbs. I don't know how we're gonna do this, maybe just a big ball. And then just decorate it. I don't know, guys, I'm struggling a bit. Maybe something just like that. Okay, it's rough around the edges, but once the glass goes around, we'll make it very non-transparent so you won't really be able to see it. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a struggle because you can't make it much smaller. And then the transparency probably 20. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we'll just say that. That's good enough. That's good. Okay, so now let's work on this top. So let's extend this real quick. So let's say probably a bit of an indent like we did down there. This is already looking better. Let's get a cone out, but we can also smooth it out and stuff because I don't want it to be too pointy. And we can even just do wooden. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Probably a sphere up here, just to smooth it out. And up here we can have a little, okay, that looks awful, but maybe if we could just scoot it down a bit. And then we can have a little pointy bit up here. See, even that, just so simple, but it works. And we can make this metal actually a bit wider, so it blends in more with that. Yeah, and then we can just have a darker metal bit right there. To be honest, it's so simple, but it's very effective, so I think that's a good lighthouse. Okay, but we can experiment with a few colors. Like, I don't want to, like, go insane, but maybe just, like, a gray base might look cool. Yeah, that looks a lot better, but we just have to do a few things to just make it not have any issues, so even just something like this works. Okay, that helps a lot. I mean, from a distance, you don't really see the issues with it, but I think this is a good lighthouse. Yes, it is a bit rough around the edges, but it's still pretty good. Okay, so I think let's start working on this area before we do palm trees. Let's say around here, because we also do need these underground little areas for the coaster. So we have a little trench now, and we can add some like buildings and stuff around it. To be honest, this whole area can probably be sand, but we can just have like a beach house and stuff and some buildings on the sand, I guess. Bro, I'm about to buy more money, I swear. Yeah, I'm buying money, y'all. I don't want to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay, now we have some more money to work with. It looks more natural. Anyway, this doesn't look very natural at all, but that's fine. Okay, even just doing something like that helps. See, this looks pretty nice. And y'all remember, I'm not doing a station because I do not feel like it. But before we continue adding more terrain, let's go ahead and make it look like we at least attempted to do a station. Because, you know, that always helps. So let's just do that. Okay, and we can add some like buildings and stuff around here. But let's continue adding this terrain. So let's go into a time lapse. But let's make it like a walkway. Okay, so here we can just make the little walkway, just a little path on the sand. But we still need to just make it like that. Okay, that's nice. But let's intertwine with, what am I saying? Oh yeah, we can just go back and forth between them so no Z-fighting. And I think right here we're gonna make this level, so I think this is gonna be some like, so there's gonna be like buildings up here, so maybe it's kind of like a boardwalk. So let's just disable that, and we can just make some simple walkways up here, because it's gonna be like shops and stuff up here, right by the beach. So it's kind of like a, I don't really know how to call it, but maybe like a boardwalk area, like something you would see at like a popular beach near you, probably. So there's like just gonna be buildings up here. I mean, nothing big, obviously, because we don't have space, but like more like a backdrop kind of for the whole scene, because this is more, this park's more about the art and the coaster than the actual buildings and stuff and the functionality. So okay, first we do need to extend this, so, and then boom, we have some of that done. Now we just have a bit more over here, but we're gonna connect it up because it's a different level. See, there we go. So now we can start working on the buildings up here. First, let's just make this whole thing with a wooden floor. Oh yeah, so now let's make it some kind of border so people don't fall to their deaths, you know. Okay, so let's just make a simple wall, but let's add some detail to it. getting lazy, y'all. I'm getting ready to be done, so not the best, but hey, it'll do. Oh, I hate this brake run. Oh my gosh, that's awful. But with the space we had, that's what we had to do. So I think to get away from having to do this fence again, I think right here is a perfect spot for a building. I'm just gonna leave that. Even just some simple trimming would make this look a lot better. And we could just fill this up. Just some simple details. But very effective. I'm still holding strong, y'all. Okay, so we can paint this probably metal. Yeah, that looks good. And we can just place a simple roof on this because these are just, let's just pretend these are cardboard cutout homes that you would only see from a distance. Yeah. Okay, let's do it better. Okay, that looks way better. Yeah, just some simple homes like this. Nice. Okay, and then we can just do some more like back here. Okay, but before that, let's just finish this path. And let's probably just make this the same color. See, that's nice. And we can just make some more of these just around like that. Perfect. And we can just make some more of these buildings back here. Perfect, y'all. We have our cardboard cutout houses. Now, I think it's time to add some beautiful nature. So let's go into another time lapse. I think with that, the nature area is done. So I think that wraps up the whole video. Thank you guys for watching. This took so long, so I hope y'all support the video. And I just hope y'all enjoyed. This was a lot of fun, just building this whole little area. It's very cool, and I don't know. I'm just surprised I did this all in 3 hours. But I'll give y'all a little POV before we go, so here we go. And that's it. So I just want to thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.